Hashtag Bitcoin is now part of Elon Musk's biography on Twitter. Same thing goes for Mr. Beast, arguably YouTube's most influential personality right now, certainly the fastest growing. Jack Dorsey, of course, has been on this list for a while. These are the Twitter evangelists, I suppose, of Bitcoin. Add this one now to the list, Alex Ohanian Sr. If you've not heard of Alex, he's actually the co-founder of Reddit. Hence my thesis about how everything that's happening right now between WallStreetBets and GameStop and all of this kerfuffle here in the traditional finance sector is very much overlapping with cryptocurrency. So in addition to that Ethereum partnership that was just struck up now with Reddit, their co-founder, again, Alex Ohanian, has joined Twitter CEO Jack Dorsey and Elon Musk, the richest man in the world, with hashtag Bitcoin in his bio. This is a watershed moment, guys. The Zeitgeist is starting to change. You can read more about it here, but the story is pretty self-explanatory. Edit co-founder hoists the Bitcoin flag on Twitter amid price surge. So we covered this story yesterday. It was kind of big news for a few hours, and then the price retraced, unfortunately, but it's still significant. Elon Musk is the richest man in the world. He's arguably the head of the most interesting company right now in the world in the form of Tesla, and thus his influence prompted Bitcoin's price to surge. Talking about this anti-short, this short squeeze environment that we're currently living through. Interestingly, Elon Musk did just that. So his support of Bitcoin caused liquidation of $387 million in shorts. This sums it up pretty well here. It's happening. Hashtag Bitcoin becomes the flag of technology, and all web services gradually get rebuilt on crypto. We're going back to our roots, which are encryption, privacy, peer-to-peer, the rights of the individual, free expression, and decentralization of power. It's hard to see this now with the recent wave of deplatforming and censorship, but understand, A, that's driven mainly by recent employees at the biggest companies, and B, a critical mass of founders, angels, VCs, CEOs have a very different take. The pendulum is swinging back. So it's now the weekend and Wall Street traditional markets are closed. As you guys know, crypto rages on. It never sleeps. But really for this past week, the story of the week has been WallStreetBets, has been Reddit, and the fact that you've had this army of everyday investors that have been short squeezing the hedge funds. The case has been made now for days and days and days that this entire situation just screams to the necessity of decentralized finance. Checking into DeFi Pulse here, this is a number that's growing now $1 billion almost every day, seemingly. Now the total value locked into DeFi TVL, $27.44 billion. I very much expect the events of this last week to catalyze this metric. Expect this to go fairly high, fairly soon. That's just my opinion, not professional or financial advice, of course. If you're not up to speed on WallStreetBets and this short squeeze that was forced upon the hedge funds these last few days with GameStop and with other stops, as well as the blatant market manipulation and hypocrisy of Robinhood and some of the other firms that shut down the buy option on all these stocks. Just absolute criminal behavior, in my opinion. If you're not up to speed with all this, we're not going to go over it too much more, but you can check out our previous videos on the subject. I should have a couple cards coming up right now, and you can, of course, check our video catalog on Altcoin Buzz's YouTube channel for more info. It's been a hell of a week, and my contention remains that this is only just getting started. You couldn't have a better advertising, marketing campaign, gateway drug insert analogy for the world of cryptocurrency and altcoins and Bitcoin and decentralization. This is just a perfect storm that's forming right now in our favor. And as such, unsurprisingly, there is a lot happening in this space. Let's move through some altcoin news right now, starting with Algorand, which is partnered with digital custody tech provider Curv in a move which is showing its intent to dig deeper into decentralized finance. It remains my contention, and it's not an original opinion, that decentralized finance is about to explode. Now, it's not a one-to-one kind of thing. It's not the sort of thing where Elon Musk, tweets about Bitcoin and the price skyrockets. There's a lot of infrastructure that has to be built, and so maybe it's a lagging indicator, that TVL metric in DeFi. But I think in the weeks ahead, given some time, you're going to see exceptionally strong growth as a result of everything that's happening here. At Algorand, with the news about this particular development, they've partnered with Curv protocol to propel DeFi, decentralized finance. They are not the only ones growing this space, but this is a great partnership to highlight here. Essentially, both entities aim to enable institutions to develop safe, scalable, and decentralized wallet functionality into applications on the Algorand network and powered by Curv's multi-party computation, their MPC technology. Notably, the partnership will see Curv users be able to trade and store ALGO, ALGO, and tokens built on Algorand. And just one last word here about WallStreetBets, and this is an interesting one actually. So the crypto exchange FTX has listed an index which is following the assets that are in question or that are being emphasized on that WallStreetBets subreddit here. So dear users, we're happy to announce that we have launched trading for a basket of WallStreetBets markets. It can be accessed via the link below. So some of these include Nokia, BlackBerry, AMC, GameStop, Silver, the entire silver market, Dogecoin, and FTT. Look, a lot of these projects right now, again, not financial advice. I don't provide financial advice when it comes to crypto. I'm certainly not providing financial advice when it comes to traditional Wall Street markets. But some of these now have come back down off their all-time high. So I think it's especially risky to enter any of these positions. Again, I'm not advising anybody, but this is where, again, this space overlaps now with the world of cryptocurrency. So this is pretty cool. You can read more about it on Cointelegraph.com. FTX created a WallStreetBets index, including GME, DOGE, and others. The FTX crypto exchange's new index is called the WallStreetBets Index. And let's end this particular story with this quote from them. Quote, "We're happy to announce that we have launched trading for a basket of WallStreetBets market," FTX said in a public statement a couple days ago on Thursday. The index trades as a futures contract with expiration on March 26th of this year, 2021. Trade carefully. That's all I have to say on the subject. Phala Network, at Phala Network on Twitter, is thrilled to announce Phala Network accessed Rococo version 1 successfully. Phala Network has completed the technology of running on Kusama Network and Polkadot, as well as becoming one of the first technology-ready candidates to slot auctions. That full story here is on medium.com, Rococo times Phala Network. So based on the principle of Rococo V1 parachain requirements, running on the Rococo V1 parachain slot successfully means that Phala Network has completed the technology of running on Kusama and Polkadot, and that becomes one of the first technology-ready candidates to slot auctions. Kudos. And if this all sounds like Mandarin to you guys, or maybe you're not familiar with the projects, you can read more here about Rococo V1 and about Phala as well. Socios.com is in the news here. They're a proud new member of the Fintech Association of Turkey, which is a notable mark of distinction here, and you can read more about that on Socios.com. They have become a member of the Fintech Association Turkey, known as Finter. So in a nutshell here, first of all, this is big news because this is at a national level a mark of distinction here. Blockchain-based fan engagement platform Socios.com has become a member of Fintech Association of Turkey, otherwise known as Finter, joining an elite network that includes several of the country's leading financial institutions and Binance Turkey. Finter is committed to spreading awareness about innovation and advanced tech solutions in the financial sector and positioning Turkey as a global fintech hub. Chainlink here in the news, at Chainlink on Twitter. They're proud to officially join UNESCO's Global Education Coalition and contribute various developer and educational resources to bring smart contracts to more people all over the world, helping enact the large societal benefits they have to offer. A bit of an unexpected headline, at least that's my take here. So Chainlink joins the UNESCO Global Education Coalition. And you can read more about that on blog.chainlink.com. They've officially joined the United Nations Educational, Scientific, and Cultural Organization, known as UNESCO Global Education Coalition, to increase global awareness and understanding of blockchains, smart contracts, and Oracle technology. I think at an overarching level, an education campaign aimed at educating people about those subjects right now is probably long overdue. And I wouldn't have thought, candidly, of the United Nations as sort of the vehicle or the body through which to implement those kinds of education campaigns. But I don't know. Why not? I'm open-minded. So let's see where this goes. I think definitely that kind of education is sorely needed. I didn't necessarily expect Chainlink to be the main player in the space, nor did I picture them doing it through, again, UNESCO. But why not? Let's see where this goes. I think, look, I'm being nitpicky. Ultimately, this is a positive development here. So very cool. ARK here is in the news. ARK, they've announced a partnership with DLUX. And if you're unfamiliar with DLUX, DLUX, that stands for the Decentralized Limitless User Experiences, which is an open source project built on the Hive blockchain that started as a way for users to build, post, and monetize virtual reality experiences without needing to know any code whatsoever themselves. So effectively a user-friendly method platform to get people creating and building in the space of virtual reality. You guys already know my opinion about this. That is a space with limitless potential, and better to eliminate barriers and invite more and more creative minds to that space. I think that is the way to go about it personally. So kudos to ARK and DLUX on this partnership. In other news here, Cartesi at Cartesi Project on Twitter. Cartesi integrates optimistic rollups to scale Ethereum decentralized applications. And let's read a little bit more about that here on cryptobriefing.com. So in a nutshell, Cartesi has implemented a popular layer 2 scaling solution called optimistic rollups, which are a practical way to address Ethereum's scaling issues and high gas fees, because that is a problem right now. Despite all the enthusiasm for Ethereum, a lot of the naysayers out there are pointing out the high gas fees and are suggesting that that's going to be the downfall of Ether, the fact that it can't scale. And currently they're right. At the moment it can't scale. A lot has to be done before Ethereum takes over the world. And I think one of the primary obstacles right now are some of the scaling issues that ETH faces. So kudos to Cartesi in their effort here toward that end. Here we have Jeff at Born Quamfi. Here we go. Hello world. Welcome to Quant Network, QNT Quant, which we've been talking about super favorably literally for years. They've been seeing a lot of positive price action lately. Quant launches Overledger release 1.5, enabling mainnet interoperability. Let's take a deeper look at this here. So on quantnetwork.medium.com, again, Quant launches Overledger release 1.5, enabling mainnet interoperability. The new version provides mainnet access for Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Ripple blockchains through Overledger. It features an updated developer portal UI user interface and a new compliance and KYC Know Your Customer process for mainnet access. Major milestone for Quant takes us into full live production, and you can also take a look at the new dashboard, which is shown right here. Quant right here, ticker QNT, sitting at about $28 right now, happens to be down 11.9% on the day. Who cares? You guys know my opinion when it comes to this kind of stuff. Just zoom out and get a sense of just how unbelievably well-performing this particular project has been. 90 days, here's 180 days. Not satisfied yet, keep zooming out to a year. Sub $5, probably. Let's take a look at that. When we had that market crash in March, the coronavirus scare. Yeah, take a look at that. Quant was at about $1.73 or so at its low, now touching $30 and poised to go well beyond. So a big kudos, a big congratulations to the Quant Network team. Expect big things from this project, in my humble opinion. And here we have big news out of an individual that isn't exactly a household name. Candidly, if he were a bit more popular, this would be bigger news, but it's still very significant. This is Frank Holmes here. He's the CEO and Chief Investment Officer of U.S. Global Investors. He believes very strongly right now and has come out very bullishly for Bitcoin and Ethereum actually in this interview with Cointelegraph. So he's saying, and look, these figures are still a little bit conservative in my opinion, but for a man in his position, it's important, it's significant. He's saying that Bitcoin is going to reach $80,000 and Ethereum is going to reach $3,000 this year in 2021. Now, I know what you're probably saying. You're saying that both Bitcoin and Ether could go well beyond those figures, but this guy is not exactly a crypto bull. He represents a different space. So for him to say $80,000 and $3,000 respectively, it's still pretty significant actually, even though we may differ in our opinions. We may feel that the limits, the potential for those two projects are higher. Doesn't matter. That's not really the gist of this story. The gist is that this guy is a gold bug, Frank Holmes, and his 2021 prediction is very significant, very bullish for the space as a whole. If you guys are interested in the full interview here, we'll link to it in the description below. Well, we talked about Ninepoint Partners the other day, now listed on the Toronto Stock Exchange, and their $180 million US dollar, 230 million Canadian dollar investment into Bitcoin. That trust is now fully invested on the first day of trading. By all accounts, Ninepoint Partners was over 99% invested on their first day of trading. So pretty good news there. Crypto lender Blockfi, they're also seeking a Bitcoin trust registration with the SEC. Blockfi is the latest firm among many to go up against Grayscale's behemoth Bitcoin trust. And you guys know my opinion about this kind of thing. More competition, more players in the space is a good thing. It allows them to become better and better in their quest to outcompete and outperform each other, which ultimately translates into better services and better products for the end users and for the clients, which are us effectively, and the institutions. And the more choices, the better products that institutions have, the more we step towards mass adoption at that level, at the institutional adoption level. You can check out here on sec.gov, one of the world's honestly most boring websites in the world. You can check out the Form D notice of exempt offering of securities that BlockFi submitted here. If you're interested, we'll link to this in the description below. We do have some FUD, I suppose, that we ought to cover. So on altcoinbuzz.io, the Indian government lists bill to ban cryptocurrency in a bit of a surprising move here. The Indian government proposes bill to ban cryptocurrency and issue its own CBDC. And do not be confused, cryptocurrencies are not the same things as CBDCs. I've talked about it at length before, but to be honest, you guys don't seem all that interested in CBDC news, so I'm not going to draw it out too much further. But CBDCs are basically just digital currencies. They are not cryptocurrencies in that they're not decentralized. They're just digital versions of what already exists, at the level of, in this case, not the Federal Reserve, but the Central Bank of India. So this to me looks very much like a power play. This looks like they're trying to consolidate control. The Indian government has listed a bill which prohibits the use of private cryptocurrency. It has decided to issue its own digital currency, a stablecoin backed by rupee, and proposed to ban cryptocurrency. Good luck with that. They can make a ban, they can pass legislation, they can anecdotally make examples out of people and try to squash the movement here. But the world is clearly moving in one direction. And CBDCs are going to have to learn to live with digital currencies, with cryptocurrencies. I know we're kind of skimming over quite a bit here, but here's Pratik's ultimate conclusion on the matter. The Indian crypto community is growing, and they will actively fight in the Supreme Court if a ban gets imposed. Absolutely. So, you guys know how it goes, right? Speaking of, I think it was originally attributed to Gandhi, so appropriately, this quote: "First, they ignore you, then they laugh at you, then they fight you, and then you win." And it looks like right now, at least at the level of Indian politics, it's at the level of them fighting the cryptocurrency community. So you guys know what comes next. I will leave it at that. Hashtag Bitcoin now firmly represented in Elon Musk's Twitter bio. Same, of course, goes for Jack Dorsey. Same now goes for MrBeast, arguably YouTube's most influential personality. Same also goes for Alex Ohanian, the co-founder of Reddit, which is an unbelievable milestone. Let me know, guys, if you are sporting hashtag Bitcoin, maybe hashtag Ethereum, hashtag other altcoins in whether it's your Twitter bio or other bios, but curious to know. So let me know about that in the comments below. But that's about it for today, everybody. Hey, do be sure you're following us on all the regular social media channels. Keep checking back into altcoinbuzz.io for all the latest. Like, subscribe, share, hit that bell to receive notifications. That way you are alerted every time we put out new content. Best of luck if you choose to invest on this Saturday, members of the Altcoin Buzz Army. But have a great weekend. Stay safe, everybody. And as always, we do hope to see you again soon in our next video. Take care.